Kamusta mga ka-proud? Today's video episode ay pag-uusapan naman natin ang ilan sa mga international celebrities na nagpakita at nagpamalas ng pagmamahal sa Pilipinas. At ang iba nga ay napaibig pa sa ating kabayan.
Mahal kita.
Mahal din kita.
For Filipino food has gone through the roof. And just the, so much adobo. Mama, you gotta have some of Mama's adobo.
Manila. We'd coast down to Manila every weekend or every chance we got. Oh, Manila was beautiful. I love Manila. It was a great, great town. It felt like you were in a kind of Hemingway book.
But they're such a nice family. Filipinos are so sweet. Are they on the fucking hillside? Get down from there! Get down from there, it's dangerous! Just kidding! I'm just kidding!
What's up ka-proud? Today's video episode ay pag-uusapan natin ang mga Hollywood celebrities na hindi lamang napabilib, bagkus ay napaibig pa sa Pilipinas. At ang iba ay napaibig ng Pilipino.
Bago tayo magpatuloy, siguraduhin nakasubscribe ka na, para updated ka sa lahat ng ating Filipino Moments video.
Isa na dyan si Chelsea Handler. Hindi lamang pala siya ang napaibig sa Pinoy, kundi marami pa sa kanyang pamilya.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
She's Jewish.
And you're Joe.
And I'm Filipino.
And he's not the only Filipino who has infiltrated our family. My niece has been dating a Filipino man for 5 to 6 years. They'll probably get married. My brother Roy is in the Philippines right now about to marry his Filipino fiance. So the Handler family has been infiltrated by Filipinos, much in the same way the Kardashians have been infiltrated by black men. So we have one more slot to fill, and that's for my older sister Simone. If you're Filipino between the ages of 50
or whatever, 60, 70, it doesn't matter when
no,
you're Filipino.
Not 70.
But when you're Filipino and 70, you look 30.
Yeah.
So that's an advantage.
But we're not only looking for Filipinos.
You can be black Filipino. You can be black Chinese Filipino. As long as there's Filipino, the handlers will take you.
Well,
handlers love Filipino.
We want more Filipinos.
Sprinkle the handlers with Filipino. Like that.
Mahal kita.
Mahal kita.
Katulad ng ibang relasyon, pagkahaba-haba man ng prosesyon, ay sa hiwalayan din ang tuloy.
It's just, especially when you have a kid. I have a son, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you go through a breakup, you want to be a role model as well, right?
Yeah.
You lead by example, and you don't want him to do that. So, his mommy, it's like we're best friends. To this day, we're best friends.
All the success, and I have to thank the fans, and I have to especially thank all the fans, but my Filipino fans for sure. And thank you for just for caring and making this possible for me.
Hindi din maikubli ang pagmamahal ni Mariah Carey sa Pilipinas.
I am so thankful to be able to speak to my Filipino fans, because guess what? When I went to the Philippines, I had the greatest concert of my life. I've never felt more loved. There's been a lot of places where I felt very loved, but I felt so loved there and so appreciated, and so just I feel like there was not a level of judgment that I often experience from some people. I'm a mixture of things, and it was cool because I feel like people in the Philippines felt what I was dealing with.
Speaking of singers, aba hindi magpapahuli ang mga Filipino pagdating sa pag-awit. Narito ang ilan sa mga komento ng mga Hollywood celebrities tungkol sa kanilang pagbilib at pagmamahal sa Filipino.
Filipino musicians that learned my music as if it were their own and loved it enough to do it right and to put in a lot of hours. I have to tell you that I was a little skeptical when this job offer came in, because they wanted me to work with Filipino musicians. But I have had a couple of instances in my life when I have gone to hear Filipino musicians, and I have learned firsthand that they are soulful, that they are professional, and that they are a whole lot of fun to make music with. Wouldn't you agree?
All over Southeast Asia, any hotel lobby, any hotel bar, there's a Filipino band.
Exactly.
And that is true. And I've sat there drunk and challenged band after band. Shirley Bassey, no problem. All of Dark Side of the Moon, no problem. All of Guns N' Roses, no problem. And that is true.
Sa tingin mo ka-proud, anong ugali ba ng Pilipino ang talaga namang namumukod tangi? At kaya, napakadali tayong magustuhan ng ibang lahi. Yung iba nga nakapag-uuwi pa ng AFAM.
Right. Why do you like working with us Filipinos?
Because you're so ever-loving talented.
You think so?
No, absolutely. There's kind of a thing in the entertainment business in general with people who know anything about artists who come from the Philippines, whether it be a band on a cruise ship,
Right. Yes.
or a house band in a club, or a singer in a lounge. You can tell if it's a Filipino artist or musicians because they know how to lay it down. They just really do. They're very professional, extremely talented. And, in America, there's kind of this theory out there that black folks are the best singers and they have the best voices. And among black folks in America, we think that the best singers are from the Philippines.
Wow, that is such
absolutely.
a great compliment.
We always talk about it. We tease about it all the time. It's like, did you hear that girl from the Philippines?
Right.
That just like, yeah, she's from the Philippines. What do you expect?
So much about Filipino culture, and what's insane to me is we're not a show that's like, we're not a fresh off the boat or a Blackish about specifically being Filipino. One of our characters happens to be Filipino, so when we realized that like no one else had even made like the effort to show a Filipino family on an American comedy, it's taught me a lot about Filipino culture, mabuhay, but it's also taught me really about, about how important diversity is if you want to tell a new story. And I don't think anything else I do from now on, I was just talking to my husband about this earlier, I would want to make it about people who are diverse, people of color, gay, trans, because those are stories that have not been told before, and America is a melting pot of immigrants, and I don't think it's acknowledged half as much as it should be on television.
Narito naman ang ilan sa mga celebrities na sumubok kumanta ng Tagalog.
Ito ako, umiibig sa'yo, kahit na ang durago ang puso. Kung kaya